Hi friends, welcome back to the channel, a place where we share books, ideas, good habits and systems in order to live a better, more meaningful life. My name is Peter, I'm a pastor and longtime member of different boards and not-for-profits organizations, and in this series I would like to share with you a few different strategies I use and got used over time. I think are helpful. Today we talk about the life-changing habit of journaling, and I would like to share with you in this second video of this series some strategies, some templates you can use to better journal. I use these three forms of journaling very regularly and I found them helpful along the way. Number one, recording what happens. It's important that we record what happens because on the long run, in the long term, we forget much of the details. And it happened to me a few times reading my journals and I discovered something I actually remembered happening in a different way or with very important details missing, because that's how our brains work. We remember the important stuff, not all the objective details. That's why in the midst of something happening, it's important to journal with as much detail as possible, because when we go back, we will discover new things about that particular situation we journaled about. Number two, I find it very helpful to journal in the morning. I journal every day in the morning for at least 10 minutes. Sometimes I get into a longer session of journaling because that's how I feel, that's how the thoughts come out, that's how engaged I am in that process. Other times it's really just sitting there for 10 minutes and just writing something down, something that's bothering me, something I'm thinking about. But journaling every morning is very important. Another way you can journal, especially when you are not inspired. That's what I'm doing. When I don't know what to journal about, I use a template. I will link to this video a Notion template you can use. It's called the 5-minute journal. And the 5-minute journal has a few points you can use to inspire your journal. And it's divided into morning time and evening time. So you start out with what would make the day good. Write a few things down. A quote or a daily affirmation about how you feel, and then later in the afternoon or the evening you are encouraged to write down what could I have done, or what happened today, what could I have done to make this day better, and maybe a to-do for the next day. Whatever template it is, it's helpful to use it when we are stuck. When I feel stuck, when I don't know what to journal about, I just take out a template and I use that one. And when I'm journaling with pen and paper, I can do that too. It's not just a digital template. What I did in my Moleskine journal, there is a pocket behind, up the back. And what I did, I wrote down the 5 points a 5-minute journal has. So when I'm stuck, I take that out, I have a look at it, and then I write down the journal of that day. So use a template when you are stuck. I'm using a template when I'm stuck. And lastly, what's important to me is to journal in different books about different things. That reminds me of a lot of different stories of sailors or ship captains. They usually had a logbook or a journal. But that logbook or journal was specific to the travel they were on. And I see that and do that in different projects I'm embarking on. So I have my main journal and I might have a specific journals for a specific project. For example, I take on the position of a board member in a new non-for-profit organization. And what I oftentimes did is to keep a journal just for this project. I use a specific notebook just for this project. So every time when I'm there, anytime when I'm doing something, or every time when I'm working on that specific project, I keep track of that work and also write down my thoughts, my aspirations. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes you feel like you should have just one journal, why separate them? But from my experience, it's actually quite helpful. If you do this, then it's important to have a good way to archive or sort these journals. I will talk about this in another video when we talk about digital tools, because I think digital tools are the way to archive our analog journals, but also keeping them in a shelf is important to come back to them. So how do we do that if we have different projects, perhaps per year? I don't know, that you have to find a solution for that, how to archive them and find those journals and use them later on. Thanks for watching, hope this video is helpful. Talk to you next time about analog journaling. Why is it important to journal with pen and paper? And if you want to support this work, you can do that too in a link below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.